Well, hey, I'm tardy. I fell asleep. I can't believe I fell asleep. Oh, Lord. I was listening to somebody else and just fell asleep. Okay, well, shit happens. That's what happened today. So, anyway, yeah, I was looking at some stuff on Jody Hildebrand. I thought, you know what? I want to talk about her one more time for just a little bit. I wanted to do somebody else. I wanted to do Gypsy Rose, but because Sprinkle Donut couldn't come on with me tonight, I decided we'll just wait, do that tomorrow night. It's okay. So I have to go back and find my stuff I have on her. Hang on just a second, guys. I'm gonna go over here and pull this up. Yeah, my history. All right, you go to your history. hmm Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can find this over here. Hang on a minute. Uh-huh. I had this little thing all queued up. Hang on just a second so I can pull this back up. Let's go back over here too. Let's get pull it back up this way. All right, back. We'll do it this way. Jody. Uh-huh. Second. Okay, right here. Let's talk about their sentencing, okay? Can you believe it was 1 year ago that they were sentenced? It's hard for me to believe that. It's been so. Whoop, here we go. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And all that mess. Sleepy. All right. Now, this is going to be Good Morning America.
Influencer Ruby Franke and her business partner Jody Hildebrand, each sentenced to a maximum of 30 years in prison for child abuse. Franke offering a tearful apology in court. And Kana Whitworth is at the courthouse there in St. George, Utah. Good morning, Kana.
A refresher of what happened to them.
Robin, good morning. Ruby Franke saying the moment she was placed in handcuffs was the moment she gained her freedom. Her estranged husband brought to tears during her emotional statement in which she also apologized to her siblings for what she called her decision to roll around in a pigsty.
It is important to me to demonstrate my remorse and regret without blame.
A reckoning for the once popular momfluencer turned inmate Ruby Franke, now set to serve up to 30 years in prison for her role in abusing her own young children.
It's
My babies.
Sickening.
My 6 little chicks. You are part of me.
The disgraced mother of 6 sobbing while apologizing to her family.
I took from you all that was soft and safe and good. I took from you your mother. How terrifying this must have been for you.
Franke's estranged husband, Kevin, and their 2 adult children in court. Overnight, Kevin's lawyer telling ABC News these injuries were both physical and psychological, and the scars will remain for a lifetime. The judge handing down the same sentence to Jody Hildebrand, who was once an established therapist in the Mormon church with specialized training and counseling, a skill the judge says makes her more dangerous.
You terrorize children, and the results have been tragic.
Prosecutors likening the conditions Hildebrand created to a concentration camp-like setting.
They were beaten, and the 12-year-old was regularly bound hand and foot.
Franke claiming Hildebrand manipulated her through their faith. The two often appearing together in Hildebrand's online life coaching program.
I'm Jody Hildebrand, and I'm Ruby Franke.
Hildebrand, for the first time, speaking out briefly in court.
I sincerely love these children. I desire for them to heal physically and emotionally.
But prosecutors questioning her acceptance of responsibility.
Miss Hildebrand just has not expressed any remorse.
You think Jody's going to end up serving more?
I hope that Jody does serve more. I think that would only be fair.
Franke's attorney alleging that Hildebrand was a powerful manipulator.
Deception started 4 years ago and progressively increased to the point where I think, truthfully, Ruby lost track of what was right versus wrong.
That's an excuse. No,
Now,
thank you.
prosecutors say they do plan on releasing these jailhouse phone calls that they say show Hildebrandt's lack of remorse. Now, ultimately, it's up to a
that's
parole
what I was
board to
checking
decide
for.
how long these women will spend behind bars. Guys,
We will wait and see,
Yeah.
Kana.
Uh-huh.
Well, hey there,
Here we go. Let me see if I can find any of these phone calls. Let's see. I did not think about finding those, did I? Let's see. Jody Hildebrand phone calls from prison. Mm-hmm. Let's see if there's any of them out here. February 2024, child abuser Jody Hildebrand jail calls. Yeah, here we go. This is a year ago too. Compilation of Jody Hildebrand and Ruby Frankie's. Oh, here, let's listen to these. This is from 1 year ago, and it's from Parallel English. Here we go. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff.
Hey y'all, what's good?
Okay.
And welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to all of my subscribers. I appreciate you guys so much. Let's remember to have healthy dialogue, be respectful to ourselves and to each other, and to challenge the argument and not the person. Let's get it.
Yeah.
I was almost done. You know, I had a guy from a ward that I was saying I was at their ward. He came over and he gave me a blessing, and he told me probably about 2 months ago. He said,
"It's so weird.
He doesn't know anything about me. He doesn't know about what I do for a living or anything." And he goes, "What you've been doing is going to change. You're going to be teaching differently in the next little while."
Wow.
Like, what in the world? I mean, Ryan, I know this sounds crazy, and I still can't put my finger on why it feels
Here's what she says.
But it feels like I was being set up to end up here.
Okay, hang on a second, guys.
Bizarro.
You know what's bizarro? That sounds just like something Lori Vallow said, isn't it? Oh, well, it's okay because I'm going to do my new job here in prison. I was supposed to come to prison. Bullshit.
I mean, I shouldn't be here. I have
All adult with great cuss tonight.
Right. But my goodness.
You have 1 minute remaining for this call.
Ridiculous.
But it was like everything got taken out of the house and it's in a storage unit so that I could come to jail. It sounds crazy, but it really feels that way. And I don't know if I'm going to be like some kind of example, but when I get out of here, I have a story to tell, and I am going to try to do everything I can to protect the children, because that's what's happening. Is that kids are being horribly abused.
By you. Horribly abused by you. You are the person who started all of this. You are the one that directed it. This is all by you. Golly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And instead of the kids, anyways.
Listen to her.
It's a story, but when you come
Yeah.
up about it.
Yeah. Okay, so in the
Nobody wants the truth. Nobody wants the truth. Nobody wants the truth, because these kids, you know, I told Doug, I woke up, the Spirit told me, it's all the devil. I mean, you've seen him. I mean, I've known you, for 5 years? You've watched him come at me.
Hey, Lori Vallow.
And you're exactly right, because he knows I know what he's doing. And he uses these kids. And he uses all of us as the adults, the parents that don't hold the kids accountable. So now it's abusive to make a kid sleep on the floor. It's abusive, or it's abusive to, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You can't even raise your kids anymore.
So what I'm saying is you're being crucified in public opinion.
Yeah.
So your fear has to be super prepared. And the only way he's going to get prepared is if you push him and ride him.
Okay, I will.
It's
I'll
just
call him
like
today.
her. Just like her.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem really animated. He seems like, the
Yeah,
pictures are going to destroy you. And I'm like, we didn't do that. Those pictures we did not do. He did that to himself, yes. Did we put that on him and then he rubbed around and cut himself? Yes. But we didn't do that. Begging God,
piece of shit.
Help me understand why I'm in this. Like, this doesn't make any sense
Yeah.
to me. And he gave me some information yesterday, and then And then today really sealed it with some scriptures that I'd love to share it with you.
Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
Still with the bullshit from the going on about the, religion. Shut up. Good Lord. It's a bunch of rubbish, bitch. I'm telling you. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sleepy. I'm tired. I don't even know why. Never mind. Today's just been a really funky day. But anyway, let me go back over here and get back to where I found something I wanted to talk about. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? I got to come over here and get it. It's over here on Reddit. Reddit has all kinds of information. I really like Reddit. Hang on a second. Let's go. Come on, Bass. Stop. Everything else is trying to open up instead. Sorry about that. Hang on. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Let's see. Where is my Reddit? Oh, there it is. All right, here we go. There's some interesting stuff I found on Reddit today, or not today, but about Ruby Frankie. And I thought, on Jody Hildebrand, I thought to myself, this is the same thing she's been doing for years and years and years. That's why this is called teaching an old dog a new dog, an old dog new tricks, or is it the same old tricks from the same old dog? That's the thing about this. So let me go back over here and find my page where I had this. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Hang on. She's a real piece of work, I'm telling you. Real piece of work. Okay. What is this here? Oops. Okay, this is something about Jody Hildebrand. And listen to this. It says, does the church want us all to believe we're porn addicts? Here is the gospel solutions in the section from the August, it's called the Lahaina, I guess is what it's called. I mean, I don't understand that term. Okay. Finding hope and love when battling pornography. This is part of the damn books and things from the Mormon. My hope for life free from pornography. Had pornography ruined my ability to feel and give love? If I struggle with pornography, am I still worthy of the Savior's help? I mean, these are just names of books that they put out there that they want you to read. What my husband's pornography struggle taught me about the Savior's atonement. Really? How creepy. That's creepy as hell. That's anyway. Let's see. Hang on a second. This one was kind of funny, and this was from a year ago, and it was on Reddit. And we kind of touched on this the other night. But it says, does anyone else think Jody Hildebrand is in the closet? And you would not believe the responses. I've been following the whole 8-passenger situation since it blew up. And on every time I listen or reading anything regarding Jody Hildebrand, I can't help but feel she might be in the closet. I know it's not good to speculate on someone's sexuality, but her constant hate of men and separation of couples leaves something, eating away in my thoughts. That's just something they discuss over here. 100%. This person says, I 100% believe she's in denial and deep in the closet. Her absolute degradation of man, separating spouses, zoning in on the wife. Yes, she is so deep in denial. She's become a predator and took her rage out on innocent families. Amen. She sure did. Let's listen to more of these phone calls. It's kind of interesting.
There.
I'm reading the article of faith by Talmud.
Oh, it's a bit hard to hear.
Oh, I
think everybody should read this book.
Yep, I've read that one. That's pretty deep read in some regards.
It is. It hits all the principles, with a lot of clarity. So I've got a woman that's interested in the church, so I've been reading some of this to her as well. So she's
cool.
a Jew.
I need to rally against her in the prison.
From Jerusalem.
Really?
Yeah. And she's like,
oh, that's cool.
I believe that Jesus is Christ. And it's great. So this book is really
wow, that's neat.
It's the Bible and the Book of Mormon at the same time.
That's cool.
So, yeah. So there's
There you
a
go.
section he's talking about the second coming, and I'm coming from this place of I was just getting ready to move, and all of a sudden I ended up in prison. Like what the world?
Yeah.
And one day you'll know all the details, and it'll all make sense. But if I could talk
Right.
about here.
Sounds just like Laura Bell. One day you'll know all the details, but I can talk about it. Oh my God.
Right.
This is the Lord talking to the disciples. They asked him, like, when shall these things be? Like, when are these things going to come to pass? And so he starts talking about the last days. And he says that nation shall war against nation, kingdom against kingdom. And then he goes, but before all these that he just talked about, they shall lay their hands on you. Now, I have been praying for 5 months, like, explain this to me, like, what is going on? Like, I'm willing to go there, but please let me go right side up. Like if you want me to be there because you want me to be there, then great. I will not resist it at all, but please help me understand. So I read this morning, and I just wept and just thanked him and thanked him.
I'm going to change over to this one. I'm going to listen to Ruby's phone calls. That was Jody.
And please see the truth. I know it's obscured.
This is from Law and Crime.
I'm where I see the facts, I see the truth, and that's what I'm gathering.
You know my heart.
What are they charging you with?
2 charges of second-degree felony for child abuse.
2 charges of second-degree felony child abuse.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. That's very serious.
So what'd you expect?
It's interesting. I had the prompting over the last month to read Viktor Frankl. I was reading him, and it was like the worst part was not knowing the end. He said he said he had an inmate that's man search for meaning, and he was a prisoner in World War II, and he said the worst part and the greatest bringing of depression was not the lack of food, and it wasn't the weather conditions, it was not knowing how long it would last. So I think I was prepared for this. I do feel strong, I feel calm. And you know what? Adults have a really hard time understanding that children can be full of evil and what that takes to fight it. You've seen what it takes to fight evil. It's not the person you're fighting. And it can look like something it's not. And you've been there, you know that. And so I don't know any adults who are going to see the truth. So I'm calm about this, and I just pray that you'll hang in there.
You have 1 minute remaining for this call.
I think I can call back, but...
Yeah, but just in case, I'm preparing to step up and fight for the children. They've been taken. And there's going to be a hearing in the next couple of days here in Provo.
I'm sorry, I signaled to Joe. Will you say that one more time?
Yes, I'm prepared to step up and fight for the children. They've been taken into custody. They're in foster care, and there's going to be a hearing within the next
He's talking about. Listen to
2
that.
or 3 days.
Listen to that.
What about Abby and Julie?
Them too. All 4 were taken.
Where did they go to get Abby and Julie?
I don't know. They while I was with them, they got Abby, and they were looking.
You have
for
exceeded the allowable time for this call. Goodbye.
Yeah. Hi.
Okay.
When I saw how long this separation was lasting, I wanted to think of some ways that I could bring in money or make some money if you didn't ever come back. So that's when I asked if you would co-sign on a loan if I found a house. And maybe I could Airbnb it or rent it out, or I've been playing with numbers in my head and I think I could make something, but I don't want to be dumb. I want to be very conservative. So I pulled them.
Speaking like she wasn't going to prison. Speaking like she was going to get out of jail. She was going to go to some trial and get out of jail or whatever. She's going to buy a house and get him to co-sign for it, like Airbnb it or something. What the hell's wrong with her? Was she really that messed up in the head? This is kind of an interesting story right here. Is it possible substances were involved? And other questions. Recently watched the Netflix documentary, so I went back and binged the Hulu episodes as well. One thing that kept standing out to me is how certain Kevin was. Still, and at the time of his interview with the producer, that supernatural things were happening in the home when Jody moved in. Can you believe this? This is good. Oh, Lord. He mentioned handprints, but the picture was just a smudge. He mentioned plates flying, odd noises, and something with cabinets. Oh, please. I'm purely speculating, but it sounds like Kevin was drugged and hallucinating. And the two women were having revelations, and I think they meant something else. I don't think they mean revelations. They were having relations in their room and seeing God, etc. Just sounds like they were just tripping Kevin. Just seems so, pliable, spineless. Why was he so accepting of everything presented to him? It doesn't seem, with all the boundary crossing Jody was doing, she was above slipping him something to keep him in a dazed and easily manipulated state. It does make, that's kind of a weird question, but I've wondered about this too. Also, just read that Ruby's redacted journal. Those poor children. Why does she refer to Jody as Gojo? It's like God and Jody. Or has it never been explained? And lastly, what happened to the pen papers that Kevin and some others mentioned? Were they destroyed, or was that the same as the journals that law enforcement found? That's very interesting questions, isn't it? This lady goes, I can only speak from my own experience. I was born into a strict Jehovah's Witness family and raised in a tight-knit community. They believe demons are real and that Satan himself is stalking them and constantly tempting them. This is not hyperbole. It's actual fear that they have, that they are told is real threats. If someone is born into a cult like that and told these things from birth, it can make them very susceptible to things like what you mentioned mentally. I mean, mentally ill people like Jody, they're very susceptible to these people. What it does is it makes adults who are scared, naive, and gullible. That's a perfect place for someone like Jody to come in and do what she did. And that is right. That's a fair way to put it. I totally agree with that. Back over here. Oh, my Lord. Hang on a minute. Oh, come on. Oh, that's 8 passengers. That's not the one I really want to talk about. All right. Hang on a second, guys. Okay. Okay. Let me get off of that. Well, that's just 8 passengers. That's not here I want to talk about. But anyway, let me come back over here and put her name in here. Just a fascinating situation about Jody Hildebrand and how she had done this before, but not to this extreme with other people, which is not talked about very often, but it is there. So let me go back and find this. Now that house sold, of course it did. Okay. I also found the story where this is interesting. Jody Hildebrand was in a beauty pageant many years ago. Yeah, can you believe that? And let me read this to you. She is the daughter of blank. She has graduated from Canyon Del Oro High School in 87. Jody Hildebrand. She was 20 years old. There's a bunch of pictures of her in this Oh, here we go. What's this here? Statement of defendant in support of guilty plea and certificate. This is their court documents right here for aggravated child abuse. Okay. 1 to 15 years, and this is whenever she was pleading guilty to her, plus a $10,000 fine, a 90% surcharge, and $53 in court cost. Second-degree felonies. Who is that? That is for Jody Hildebrand. Oh, her name is Jody Nan Hildebrand. Okay. Oh, look at this. I didn't know I had all this. Okay, there you go. Let me see if I can pull this up over here. This would be kind of interesting to look at their court papers. You know, the thing is, they're up for parole after 4 years. I think that's what I read. Let me go find this again about their parole. And I don't think they're going to be granted parole, but you never know. Parole boards can be so unpredictable. Let me pull this back up over here. Okay, parole boards. Okay, parole for Jody Hildebrand. Oh boy. Silly. Let's see. Okay, she's currently incarcerated in Utah. Let's see, for 15 years for aggravated. First parole hearing is scheduled for December of 2026. So in December of 2026, she's going to go before the parole board. And hopefully, she will not get parole. In early 2025, she challenged her conviction, claiming she did not fully understand her rights when she pled guilty. Are you kidding me? Oh boy, I'd love to see that document. The behavior reports indicate she has continued to engage in behavior similar to those before her arrest, such as creating small groups of women in prison to talk about addictions. See, it's always an addiction. What is wrong with her? I mean, this is the most mentally ill. I think she's more mentally ill than Lori Vallow, and that's hard to say, isn't it? I think she is. Listen to more phone calls. Good Lord.
Money.
It's so unreal.
And
with you? Do the police have it?
well, I don't know what the police took. I don't know what the police have.
But the bag is at Jody's house?
They can't just take people's money. I mean, that's not right.
Well, they're not going to take the money, but when they have a search warrant, they have access to everything in the house.
Sure.
Yeah, they do.
I have a feeling we're going to need that money.
We might do. So
I don't even know how her husband could be talking to her, really.
Making big purchases. I've been very conservative. I think the biggest expense has been the kids' schooling and
the kids' schooling. They went to school?
They have enough curriculum to get them for a couple years. So
okay.
Hey, Cinderella, good to see you, girl.
I just received a text from Ted Dawson out of the blue. Ted Dawson.
Good to see you, Cinderella. Thanks for stopping by. I'm just doing some phone calls and stuff from Ruby Frankie and Jody Hildebrandt. You know, just listen to the craziness that they are, and it's just there. It's just constantly there. They're just like Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell, except it's two women. Can you believe that?
Who I haven't heard from in years.
What, did he just text you?
Yeah, the story's out. So he said, Stormy sent me an article and it just broke my heart. I just wanted you to know I'm thinking about you, and if I can ever be a resource, we are always here.
Are we in the news?
Of course, you're in the news.
It sounds like at least you're in the news. I don't know about me. I don't know what he's talking about. But
oh,
I'm wondering if they went to Sherry to like ask her questions.
I don't know.
I would just about believe anything that these. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, because when you listen to these people talk, and I mean, And Jody Hildebrandt's still over there spewing out all this. When you listen to her phone calls, she's over there spewing out all this Bible stuff still. And she's over here, and then Ruby's over here talking to her husband like everything's just the same. Hey, talking about as if she's going to get out tomorrow or something. It's the craziest crap. Here we go. Listen, it's wild.
I know they are. And a couple of months ago, Business Insider was reaching out to me, and I ignored their email. But
you shouldn't.
I'm going dark.
This is a witch.
I'm not at BYU.
She is trying
I'm
to
not
get
at
out.
BYU anymore, so I don't know how they're going to find me.
Yeah, maybe it was a book.
Yeah, Jody filed an appeal against her conviction, saying she didn't understand what she had pled to. She didn't understand the charges that she pled to. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. You're an educated woman. It's just garbage that she's putting out there because she thinks she's going to get out. She is so dangerous. When you listen to what which I listened to it first, when you listen to what the judge said to her, you realize how dangerous she actually is. It is crazy. It is crazy.
Okay. This is a witch hunt.
It's not a witch hunt.
The devil's been after me for years.
The devil's been after me.
He's mad as heck. Have
you shared that with the detectives?
I have not said a word until I have an attorney.
Okay, well, you know that this phone call is being recorded.
Oh, how funny.
You have 1 minute remaining for this call.
Yes, that will come out. That will come out.
Okay.
When we were driven to the jail, the detective was putting us in the car, and Jody said, "I trust you." So
they're going to be in the hospital for 3 days.
So weird. It's just not necessary.
Really?
They're trying
not
to
necessary.
exaggerate this. Oh,
they didn't show me.
Like the hero.
Well, they didn't show me any pictures or anything, but the way they described it, it was very serious.
Mm-hmm.
You have
Did you hear that? How does she know? Right. I mean, she was right there. She was right there at the house watching what they were doing to those kids, Jody and Frankie, Jody and her together. She saw every bit of it. She had journals. She wrote in journals what was happening to these children, just watching it like, oh, well, it's okay because the demons are in my children. So I've got to get them out. So I'm going to do all this garbage and it's going to get the demons out of my kids. Right. That is beyond bizarre. It's beyond bizarre. And listen to Kevin. He's not even mad. He's talking on the phone and he's not even mad that these kids were so abused. They spent 3 days in the damn hospital. God almighty, what's wrong with him?
Exceeded the allowable time for this call.
Unbelievable.
Goodbye.
You had to put her in a chair. It was horrible. It was torturous last night hearing the screaming and the banging and people. It's like, okay, that's upsetting. But the most upsetting thing is that I am completely misunderstood. That is the most horrible feeling. Like my own family misunderstands me, they misinterpret me, and poor Jody, they misinterpret her, they misunderstand her. She puts her neck out on the line for people, and then they get mad at her. I mean, it is just horrendous. It's horrendous. And you know what? Every Joseph Smith, every wonderful man of God has had to be misunderstood.
Listen to that.
That's right.
And so I'm going to get out of this. Who knows? Maybe in 10 days I'll get out of this.
No, you won't.
If truth prevails right now, or, who knows, like 20 years? I don't know. I don't know how long. But I'm going to step out. I'm going to say I went through everything. I have seen God's children suffer. All the people here, my jail cellmates, have been beautiful women, but they've been hurt. They've been deceived into drugs. And
he sounds just like Lori Vallow. It is so shocking. Yeah. You people acting like this and blaming God. Blaming God. Yes, blaming God. It's the sickest thing ever. It's just sickening. I mean, and they're so misunderstood. You're misunderstood, but you're damn over there abusing children. We can see it plainly. It's not misunderstood. And Jody put her neck out for everybody. No, Jody put her neck out for herself and herself only. Sickening bitch. Yeah, it's all adult tonight. We can go ahead and cuss.
Compassion for them. And
he's so, how can he be so nice
for
to
the
her?
cause, and I have compassion for myself. And then to be told that I'm suicidal, I'm like, no, that's not
yes,
true.
You are.
Anyway, if you need to let
Sherry, that was either Sherry or one of your siblings.
Well, they're all in cahoots. One means all of them, but yes, you're right.
They're all in cahoots.
In your hearing, I don't know if you've considered this. I don't know if it'd be helpful, but you could have the house.
They're all in cahoots. Same thing Lori Bell said about her family members. Well, they're all in cahoots against me. I mean, same garbage.
And if all the kids go to the house, you've got room there, and I will gladly stay away and let you guys be. So I don't know if that's helpful. I'm just giving it to you if it is.
Thank you. And in the discussions with my attorney, that's the only way that we're going to retain custody of the children.
That's fine.
That's fine.
He is 35 years in this, and he said even if you are acquitted and are released, they will place legal restrictions on your access to.
Yeah. Thank you. Really? You're right, Cinderella. Thank you. What the hell is wrong with this guy? He's so acting like she didn't do anything wrong. I don't understand it. And I'm starting to question, was he on some kind of mind-altering drugs or something? I mean, any normal person could see what she was doing. I don't understand this dude.
The under 18 children.
I figured such.
Yeah, okay.
I figured such. God told me.
God told you?
God told me when I was driving before I called you. I didn't have any information. I didn't know anything. And the Spirit said, your children are going to be removed. And I cried out loud. I'm like, no, I'm not done. I'm not ready. And
you're not done.
God told me I'm done. And I
She wasn't done because they weren't dead. Her and Jody wrote they're going to move to some land in Arizona, and those kids would have not survived that. I guarantee you, they would not have. Unbelievable.
Just so.
Kevin, get some balls about your ass.
Satan has taken everything away from me
that I
love. And I'm a good woman.
No, you're not.
I don't do naughty things.
Yes, you did.
I don't do naughty things. I'm a really good girl.
I'm a good girl.
Ruby, I'm going to do everything that I can to keep.
Yeah, I think once he heard another man talk about Jody doing the same thing, I hope he opened his damn eyes up, because it is unbelievable to listen to him talk to her like, it's okay. Yeah, even if you get out, you're not going to be able to come around the children. And then she's like, it's okay. What mother says that's okay? She is mentally ill. 100% mentally ill. Putting cayenne pepper in the wound. You're right. It is like that. Unbelievable. Let me see.
Truth in our family.
Oh, gosh.
Thank you.
I'm committed to our family. I'm committed to you and our marriage.
You're committed to her?
Happens.
Thank you. Thank you.
I will be here to support you
I wonder if they're divorced
in
yet.
any way that I can.
Well, thank you for stepping up.
Let's see.
This
I do need to go, but
okay. All right.
call me back when or if you need.
When will you find out? How can I call you? When should I call so I find out what they say?
I don't know how long this will go, but if you call this afternoon, I will know.
You
This
see?
is a preliminary hearing, so there will be no.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
He
Well,
is
it's hard to
remarried.
get a phone around here. I asked for a phone.
You know what? I forgot that he had gotten divorced and already gotten remarried. Now, look, that's a little Look, that's a little sick too. Why did he get married so quickly? Huh? It's kind of strange. Anyway, well, look, keep listening. It's crazy. This is crazy.
It took hours to get it, so it may not be until later tonight. Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
Damn.
All right. Good luck. I will be praying for you.
I'll be praying for you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
This is a call from and paid for by
I'm just shocked by listening to this.
Ruby, Frankie, Purgatory Corrections.
an inmate at
Purgatory Perfect.
Correctional Facility. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. If you don't wish to talk, hang up now.
Hello?
I wonder who she's talking to.
Thank you for using Telmate.
Tailmate.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Who's us?
Okay, that was
over there.
It's 9:30. We're good.
Okay. Right?
Yeah.
I wonder if she's
We're
talking to
8 hours ahead.
Okay.
I'm glad you could call us back.
Yeah. I haven't used the phones very much. They're kind of hard to figure out, but
and it's
yeah, I
recorded.
think I figured out how to use. I don't think this one will shut me off. I think the one I called you was a free call, and this one will be paid for by my account. Kevin, Bo put some money in it.
It's sick.
But I was saying I can't say everything that I want to say, but I really did feel like the arrest was like a rescue. Like I just felt so many angels around, and just like a relief. It was just
There we
really
go. So you actually hear it better.
kind of strange. But I just keep thinking about, President Nelson's talk, things celestial, and I know he said in the past about myopic thinking, and he's given a lot of context to, how small this life really is, and I'm just so grateful. How many people, will go to the grave not having woken up. And I want to use this time, and I am using this time
to what?
To change, to repent, and to do what I
now
can.
she's feeling guilty, huh? Okay.
But the Lord knows I love him and my family.
And what about your children?
I've had many experiences here to kind of guide my thinking. It's like, I don't know, my attorney's been really good. Did you know my attorney is...
I believe that God has a hand in the old Ruby, being kind of set free or whatever you want to call it, that, thing being gone.
Yeah.
A thing being gone.
Absolutely. I could not come out of this without his grace, without his mercy, without his help. This has been the strangest and the most miraculous intervention. It put everybody where they needed to be. It separated me from Jody, so I'm not hearing her. And I think just being gone and not hearing her has cleared a lot of things up for
Not hearing her? Yeah, it separated us and I'm not hearing her. Look, you can't think for yourself. That's amazing. I'm not hearing her. You can't think for yourself. You can't see and hear and watch this all go on. You can't think for yourself. Oh my God, what's wrong with her?
Me.
She's mentally ill
And put
herself.
the kids in a place where they're.
Where what?
You have exceeded the allowable time for this call. Goodbye.
Did you see that Jody pled guilty today?
Uh-oh.
I did see that. Yes, is that a relief for you?
Mm-hmm.
Dingy blonde, yeah.
It's a big relief. It's a
Why
big
is it a
relief.
big relief?
There would have been positive the other way too. Had she not pled guilty, there's enough evidence that she could have been convicted for life. But
wow,
that would have been messy. It would have been really messy, and
Yeah,
the
I'm
kids
glad
would
you
have.
didn't feel that way.
So,
So do you and her?
she's admitting right there. Okay, if she'd have been convicted for life, there was enough evidence she would be convicted for life. You knew it was wrong. You knew what she was doing. Unbelievable.
Or get the same outcome no matter what now, or is there a chance that it would be different?
That's a really good question. That's one that I've asked Lamar. No, we can still have different outcomes. So Ellie asked a little bit about this. I wrote it out in a text to her. But so the next thing that will happen is I will fill out, and she will fill out probation and there's another P, paperwork. And basically you go through your history and you tell them your history, which.
And what are you going to tell them?
There's no history on me. There's nothing, no criminal history, no mental health history, nothing. And I'm also hiring.
No mental health history. You don't think you're mentally ill. See, they don't see it. They don't realize they're mentally ill. Wow.
A professional to do a mental health evaluation, just to say she's good, like there's no mental health problems at all. And then that will go to my probationary board. Jody, she can lie on her paperwork, and she probably will. I don't think she's going to give them her history. But I think in the interview, it's going to be apparent that she's mentally ill. And
the pot calling the kettle black, isn't it? It's when she talks and see. Well, listen, when you talk, we can see you're mentally ill, Missy. I don't understand you thinking that you can. She is crazy. I think she is crazy. 100% crazy. Cray.
So that will affect how long someone, because they're looking how repentant are you? How
That's not what they're looking at.
Responsibility are you taking? How are you aware that what you've done is wrong? And she's not. She's the only reason she pled is because she didn't want to do life. She knew I would testify. The other thing.
Oh, you're going to turn on her?
On my plea deal, when I come up for probation, the prosecuting attorney can, will often, if they think that you're a danger to society, will talk to the probationary board and or write them a letter saying, I think she needs to stay where she is. He's going to stay neutral and not write any letter when my probation comes up, which is a really
how do you know
big
that?
Deal. But for her,
I wonder how she knows that. I wonder if she did turn on her. Absolutely, she turned on her. And see that, and Jody knew that she was going to testify against her at that point. But see, I think they are both a danger. Not just one of them, but they're both a danger to society and children. Damn.
He's not going to stay neutral. So we can come up to probation and I can
get off on
But she
probation,
didn't
then
get-
she may not.
Did you? So what does probation look like? Like, what does that all entail?
It can look like several different things. I think I'm still learning about this, and I think I never realized how complicated it is. I always thought you pled guilty and they tell you how long you're in.
Yeah, there's a lot of terminology to know.
Yeah, and half of the stuff that is said goes over my head, and then I have to go. I come back and I ask the girls here. I'm like, what does this mean? What does this mean?
Listen to her acting like she's stupid.
But probation could look like going home. Like you could go home. Sometimes, it might look like going home with restrictions. Like you can go home, but you need to live with somebody who's responsible, and you can't be around certain people. Like they may say you could go home if your parents agree to house you, but you can't go home to where your kids are living. It could look like something like that. Or it could look like something where I have an ankle monitor. Or it could look like you can go home if you pay a $10,000 fine. Or maybe it could look like instead of serving the rest of your time, we'll give you some good time and you can go home in half the time. So I think that getting off on probation, I think looks like there's several different ways that could happen.
Oh, I see. That's good to know.
Yeah.
And is that usually after you've already served some time then?
Say that one more time.
That's after you have served some time?
Yeah. And
see, I think she thought she was going home. $10,000 is all your kids are worth to you. Thank you, Cinderella. That's what I want to know. Is that all your kids were worth to you, you dumb bitch? I don't understand. I think she thought she's like Gypsy Rose. Well, I'm just going to walk out there and go home. I was misled. Jody Hildebrand just did all of this to us. She was masterminded the whole thing, and I was just taken advantage of. Ridiculous.
I don't know what that is going to be. I don't know if it's. One of the girls said that it would be for me 6 months, but I've also heard it could be
not 15 years,
4 years, and some people serve several years before they ever see their probation board. So I'm really still. I mean, I could be in there 4 years. I could be in there 30. Like, I really don't know.
Yeah. And that will come in February?
On February 20th.
Okay.
Yeah. And the news that I saw today, Jody's sentence hearing is also February 20th. So
of course, she did the same crime.
I'm going to make a request that we be transferred in 2 different vans. I don't think they're going to accommodate that.
Oh, do they? Okay, I see.
Yeah, when I went to the courthouse last week, what they do, they did this when they transported me to Utah County as well. They pull all the girls. There's only 2 housing here for girls. There's not very many girls here, but there's many for the men. And so they take the girls and they put them in a cell together, in a holding cell to wait, and then they get all the men together and they put all the men in the cells, and then they start putting on the ankle bracelets and the chains and the everything on the men while you're sitting in the cell with these women you're going to the court with for an hour, and you're sitting with them, and then they pull the girls out and they line you up, and then they put.
Okay, so she was sleeping in the same bed with Jody Hildebrand, even when Jody was living in the house with her and her husband. Her husband slept in the living room or a different room or on the couch or whatever, and Jody was sleeping in the bed with Ruby. And now that they got in trouble for what they were doing. She's like, I'm afraid of Jody. I don't want to be around Jody. Really, Ruby? You're full of shit.
The shackles on you, and then
Really
they
full of
take the men
shit.
out to the van, the men's van, and then they take the women out to the women's van, and then you drive to the courthouse together, and then they take you
How
out.
far away is your place from the courthouse there in St. George?
30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Okay.
Wow. Just a little bit of a ride.
And then you sit in a cell at the court. So if someone's hearing's at 9, this is what happened to me. There was a girl that went with me, and her hearing was at 9, but mine wasn't until 11. So she went in, and she had like a 5-minute hearing. And then we sat in the cell and talked for 2 hours until it was my turn. And then we rode back together. So you pretty much spend several hours together, whoever is going to the court that day with you.
Interesting. So that means on February 20th, it would be you and her going together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When was the last time you talked to her? Was it that day?
We got arrested.
Mm-hmm. It was when we were arrested. Yeah. I left early in the morning to go to a dentist appointment with Julie. We left at like 3 in the morning, and she called me sometime in the morning, and so I went back down. But when I got to the house, I mean, it looked like the movies. There was a red fire truck, there was a black van with tinted windows, there were 2 ambulances, there were 20 cop cars. I mean, it was.
Did you just sit in your car?
No, I pulled up and found a spot to park. She lives on a cul-de-sac. I parked in the cul-de-sac, and I walked up, and the driveway was just full of cops, and I just walked up to the cops, and they said, "Are you the mother?" And I nodded my head, and so they took me and put me in the casita, and I sat there for a couple hours. I just sat there, and then they were finishing.
She sat there, didn't even ask
looking
about
through the
her
house
kids.
and stuff, I think, and some of the guys were coming in and out with pizza, and so I think Eve was still there because the ambulance car was there, eating pizza with the police. And then
your children were starving.
And then once the kids were taken in the ambulance cars, then the detective came and patted me down and arrested me, and then took me to the courthouse for questioning, which I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't say anything, because Lamar was really helpful. Like, if you ever get arrested, don't say anything. I just didn't say anything. And she was like,
"How did you find Lamar? Was he just assigned to you coincidentally, or did you?"
So she has an attorney that she's used for connections, and I called him and no one answered, but then she called him and he said.
So did Jody provide Ruby's attorney as well, since, that was the attorney's office they used for connections? Huh. Interesting, huh?
I only do like business law. I don't do criminal law. But here's a number of 2 people who do that I would highly recommend. And so she gave the 2 numbers, and I got the number from Kevin. I don't know how the numbers got from. I don't know how, but Kevin said, "Here's your attorney, and this is her attorney," and that was the last time I talked to Kevin. Was a couple of days after my arrest. But so I didn't see Jody at all when I went to the house to turn myself in. I didn't see her.
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay.
I went to the house to turn myself in. You didn't go to the house to turn yourself in. You showed up over there thinking you were going to walk away from there and everything was going to be on her, didn't you? Yes, ma'am, you did.
And I went, and they took me to the courthouse, and the detective was like, I've got all night. We can talk all night. And I didn't say anything. I just said I want an attorney. So I could hear Kevin in the hallway talking, and then he left. And when they took me out of the room, they took me outside and cuffed me and said, again, they cuffed me again, and then they told me you're under arrest and then they told me two of the charges, and then they had me get in the patrol car, and that's when I saw Jody. I saw Jody was also in the patrol car, and she had surgery on her shoulder. She couldn't put her hands behind her back, so then they pulled her out and changed up the way they arrested her so she could drive with her hands in front of her. And then we had about a 45-minute drive to the jail. And that was the last time I spoke to her. We were in the back. And we didn't say a whole lot. I mean, we talked the whole time, but I don't remember really saying a whole lot. We sang hummed a couple hymns, and
oh my God,
she was still justifying the whole time. She's like, don't worry, we'll have our day in court. And then when we were booked in, they put us in separate cells, and we've been in separate cells ever since. So.
You hear that? Totally blaming Jody for all of it. Justifying, bitch, unbelievable. You sat there with her the whole time. You knew exactly what was going on. You approved of what was going on. It was your children that you did that to. Unbelievable the way she goes about this, acting like she didn't do anything wrong. It was all Jody. It's just sick.
Do you hate talking about that kind of stuff? Does it trigger anything, or is it just?
No, I don't. I think it's fun. No, I don't mind talking about it. It's maybe good for me to talk about it. I don't know if you like talking about it.
I was just wondering if it triggered anything. But if you're doing okay mentally, and then that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
She wasn't okay before.
I think putting the pieces together and just seeing, like, she knew she was lying the whole time. Like, and it's embarrassing too to like repeat it. It's like, oh my gosh, how gullible was I? Oh my gosh, how much power I gave this person, and I didn't see it. But when I realized, so she had, her attorney's name is Doug Terry, and mine's Lamar, and Lamar, you know, maybe a month into it, he's maybe not even that long, he's like, Jody denies everything. She denies having anything to do with this. And I was shocked. I was like, what? And I'm still telling Lamar, like, you know, all of the justifications and all of the, you know, I'm talking like a criminal. I sound like a mad person. He was so patient with me. He was so patient with me. He would just look at me and like kind of dumbfounded, like I'd said 2 + 2 is 7, and I really believed it. And he would just stare at me. I'm like, what am I saying that's so off? And
everything.
But that's because I really believed it. But then when I heard that Jody was not talking like that, she was denying the whole thing, it told me she knew all along. It's like a little kid who doesn't know it's wrong to pee in their underwear. Like, they don't know. They're not embarrassed by it. It's like, oh, I was supposed to pee in the toilet? Oh, oops. But you get a 6-year-old. you get a 6-year-old who knows they're supposed to pee in the toilet and they're peeing down the heater vent. They're going to try to hide it. And that's
What an analogy.
when I realized she knew all along, and she's hiding it. And then I was like, crap, what am I done? And that's when things kind of started turning. I was like, she's not been honest. I didn't know she wasn't honest. I didn't know she would lie. And it's like, what else has she been lying about? Where else have I been deceived?
Where else have I been deceived? Like you couldn't see any of it your damn self? Are you kidding me? What an analogy to use a child who peed their pants. How ridiculous. She cannot sit there and think anybody is going to believe that she did not know until she got into prison that there was something wrong with what they were doing. You can't tell that lie. You can't tell it. It's a lie. Unbelievable.
What was that?
Oh, no, I was just, agreeing.
Yeah.
You did see it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was just like the little string that started pulling apart the fabric. I'm like, oh my gosh.
How can you
what
laugh?
have I done? Like, what?
What have I done?
I can talk about it now. Yeah, go ahead.
Lamar was just very, very kind that day that we met with him. It was very kind and just visit with us.
Oh, like miraculous.
Yeah. He and his wife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a way of like he didn't beat around the bush. Like there were some times he would say things that were shocking to me. Like he would like repeat what I said, but he would say it in a different tone so I could hear myself. And he's like, "Is that really what you think?" And I'm like, "Oh." And he would, but then there were other times that.
Unbelievable.
You have 1 minute remaining for this call.
Do you want to end the call, or do you want me to call you back? How do you want to?
We can end for today, and then we can always talk again. So
I'm just
really glad that he's there to kind of help you through it. And
wow.
Yeah. Well, that first night I was in the jail, I just felt really strongly like I'm sending you help. Help is coming.
Yeah.
And I just felt like that was Lamar, and he's been very, very helpful. I'm grateful for him.
Well, that's what we've all been praying for this whole time. So I'm glad that even it's a different kind of help, but I'm glad it's finally here.
Me too.
Okay.
Like, what is going on? Like,
and this is Jody. This is more Jody's phone calls.
Go right side up. Like,
yeah.
you want me to be there because.
And she's still with the preaching crap.
Great. I will not resist it at all. But please help me understand. So I read this morning, and I just wept and just thanked him because it just all click.
But she denied everything. She didn't do anything wrong. Just ask her.
They shall lay their hands on you, and I'm like,
like, oh my goodness,
and prosecute you.
Yeah.
You have 1 minute remaining for this call.
Back.
Yep, call me back.
Did you hear that? Okay.
Yeah, call me back.
See, they laugh.
This is a call from and paid for by.
Oh, let me get up here and get the right person.
An inmate at Purgatory Correctional Facility. This call is subject to recording and monitoring. If you don't wish to talk, hang up now.
Let me see who this phone call is. If it's with that other lady.
Thank you for using Telmate.
Hang on.
Are you there?
Yep, there you are.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I need to give full credit to this person over here. Hang on. Yeah.
The Lord says, but first they'll lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. And it shall turn to you for a testimony. And then he says, settle it therefore in your hearts not to meditate before what ye shall answer, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom. All your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay or resist. And you know what gainsay means?
Wow.
So then he says, and ye shall be betrayed by both parents and brethren and kinsfolk and friends. I'm like,
Who betrayed who? That's,
oh my God,
you know,
that's exactly what's going on. And so,
you got to ask yourself, who betrayed who, you know, because it looks to me like she and her, they betrayed everybody together. It's not just one-sided, honey. You both did it together. You see. Here we go.
one of you shall be caused to be put to death, and you shall be hated by all men.
She just sounds like Lori Vallow.
And then he goes on to say, you know, and I've read that before, but like I've never been in prison. But I just read that. I just wept. I mean, the Spirit was like, he just said, "This is you."
Yeah.
I read in Mark. That was in Luke, and I read in Mark the same kind of thing, you know, because the Gospels they wrote similarly.
And I believe Jody has a brother who I believe is an attorney. That is what I think I remember. He pulled this back up from when I was reading all about her family and where she came from and her early life and those kind of things. Just going to pull this back up over here. Let's see. Just such a fascinating bunch of garbage she puts out. Here we go. One of her brothers one of her brothers is an attorney. So, let's see. Her brother's background, in Reddit, the discussions that mentions that the relation to this case such that the brother of Jody is an attorney, with some of the users identifying him as Scott Hildebrand. Okay, his name is Scott, who is also mentioned in context of being the father of Jesse Hildebrand. Okay, remember the little girl that she was abusing, Jesse? So Scott Hildebrand, the attorney, is Jesse's father. Okay, so that one of her victims was her own niece. So Jody was, let's see, she worked with the Connections. Let's see. Now, during her criminal case, Jody was represented by Douglas D. Terry. She's kind of talked about that already, but Ruby Frankie, let's see. I'm trying to find that part where some of her family speaks on this one. Hang on a second. I'm trying to find that. We'll listen to this for just a little bit longer. I mean, the way they talk is crazy. It's just Chad and Lori right here. Chad and Lori. Same thing.
The son, like the father will betray the son. And the children shall rise up against their parents and shall cause them to be put to death. That statement right there is what's going on with me.
Mm-hmm.
The children shall rise up and put their parents to death. And
what parents? I mean, what children?
For my name's sake.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I probably cried for an hour straight. Just everything clicked. And I said, I'm happy.
Here we go.
Because if you continue to read the rest of the chapter, he's like, be grateful. If you're in this situation, be grateful because you're grateful.
This is something interesting. Hold on, guys. I don't know if you know this or not. So, Jody Hildebrand shared 2 children with her ex-husband, but she's no longer in control of them. She has 2 children of her own. A former family and relationship counselor who kept much of her personal life private, despite gaining a significant. Oh, stop it! Let me get that out of the way. Let's see. Come on, where's my thing? I was reading to you right here. Influence over the. Although she advised other people on what to do with their families and marriages, she rarely shared details of her own family and relationships. Jody shared very little with us about her own history, her past clients. Valerie Jackson said in this documentary. As Hildebrand's profile began to grow, she started to develop a close working and personal relationship with the YouTuber Ruby and Kevin Frankie and their 6 children. But it's amazing that she has 2 children of her own that she was estranged from. So I wonder why. She was married for 3 years. So when she get divorced, did her husband take those children? For years, Hildebrand made a living off of giving other couples marriage and relationship advice, but she rarely spoke about her own. The Netflix documentary features a video of Hildebrand speaking where she explained that she was born in 1969 and was raised in a traditional LDS home with 6 siblings. She went on to serve a mission in Puerto Rico before getting married. Okay. She was married to her husband, whom she has never publicly identified, in 1993, but they got divorced in 1996. While my marriage dissolved 3 years later, it caught me somewhat by surprise because my tribe, as I call it, had not taught me or prepared me for divorce. She says the LDS church and the resurfaced video. I was really wounded inside from not feeling a protection from the church. What do you mean not protected from the church? I mean, the church doesn't make your decisions about whether you stay married or not. Well, I don't guess they do. I'm not sure. I'm not of that faith. But after her divorce, she had 2 children, and I decided to enter graduate school. Hildebrand explained in the resurfaced interview in the Netflix documentary. Hildebrand's children have never been named, but Detective Jessica Bate of the Santa Clara Ivins Police Department, who investigated Hildebrand and Frankie, claimed that her children were adults who didn't keep in contact with their mother, so that her children didn't want anything to do with her. I learned more about Jody's family, said in The Evil Influencer. Her 2 children were adults now, and she was estranged from both of them. They didn't want any contact with her. Jackson also alleged that in the documentary that Hildebrand confided in her about how her own family hated her. She told us one time about her Thanksgiving where she went home to her family and how just everyone hated her. Jackson said in the documentary, I remember thinking, that's weird. Like I've been coming to you so that I can repair these relationships with my family, and yet you have no one in your family that values you or respects you. Well, that's probably because she just wielded that same garbage that she was wielding over there to Ruby and Kevin's family. That's probably why they hated her.
Wow. Yeah,
That's wild. Yeah. I don't know who she's talking to, but
perspective right now, wow.
So I have just been begging him, like, you've got to explain this to me. Like, I cannot logically figure out what's going on here. And that's it. That's what's going on. And the spirit.
Yeah.
I mean, when I feel the spirit, I have 2 physiological reactions. I get really like shaky, like I'm shivering, like I'm cold, or I feel heat, like I have a fever.
I just want to ask her, okay, so when you feel the spirit coming in, are you going into the portal and talking to somebody in the closet? I mean, okay, Cinderella, good to see you. Thank you. I mean, are you in the closet? I mean, who is she? I just wonder if she's having the same experiences that old Chad Daybell had. That stuff. I wonder about that. I want to keep listening to her silly phone call.
Through me.
Yeah. Wow.
I was like burning up. It felt like I was burning up. And
She's still mentally ill. You can hear it.
Gratitude, like, here's your answer. Here's what this is.
That's super cool. That's pretty neat. Okay. Pretty neat how that works, how the scriptures can do that,
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, I have probably every single day just been, trying to logic, trying to understand, trying to be humble, trying to say,
trying to understand, but yet narcissists, both of them. You're right about that.
Oh yeah, you're living a puzzle, trying to put the pieces together.
She knew better.
Yeah, and in Peter, First Peter, I don't have this one written down. I kind of wrote the other stuff down, so I just took it down to the phone. But in First Peter, chapter 4, between verses 12 and 19.
I want to know if she ever wrote some books, because I wonder if she's going to do what Chad Daybell did and start putting things on X so she can sell her books because she needs to bring in some income, because I'd like to know what happened to all the. I really would like to know. Well, what happened to all that money that she made off of abusing people through the church, because the church paid for the abuse that she was putting on other people? Isn't that just crazy? It is crazy.
I can't remember exactly how he says it, but he's like, when you have something happen to you and it just feels like it's random, it's not random. Like this is intentional.
You brought it on yourself.
It's not just some crazy active events that's going on. This is like intentional. And that first Peter
It's so wild.
4 was another one of the footnotes to refer to, that reinforced all this other stuff. I'm like, oh, wow. This is just some crazy random event. This has purpose. And then I connected it to my blessing. Because my blessing I've been reading
your blessings.
The blessing's pretty clear.
Damn.
The first paragraph of it says, these are words directly to you from your Heavenly Father, and according to your faith and diligence, they'll either be a comfort to you or they won't be. So however
Let's speed it up just a little bit.
And faith you want to put in them. And then the next paragraph talks about. It says, "You are a special spirit, chosen and reserved for these last days, and sent forth to the earth in great."
You are a special spirit, chosen to send forth to the earth. See, okay, Chad Daybell. All right, here we go. Listen to this stuff.
Clouds of glory to share the gospel and prepare the people for the return of the Savior.
Prepare the people. Prepare the people. So is she part of those prepare the people as well? Do you think she had 2 years of food storage saved up? Because I'm thinking she is part of that same. I bet she is.
One of the reasons you were sent here is to share the gospel. The strongest message you will ever teach is the power of your example. And then he says, through the power of your example in the spoken word. Or no, he says,
I would not want her to be the example from my family.
And you will be able to teach the gospel in far and distant nations. And then he says, through the power of your example and the spoken word, you will be a great tool in the hand of the Lord in teaching the gospel to many. So the whole paragraph about an example, I'm like, well, what's a better example than to go to prison unjustly? And then
unjustly? She went to prison unjustly. Just ask her. She didn't do anything wrong, did she? Huh?
The gospel. To teach the gospel.
Yeah.
Plan on doing it.
Yeah, and that's super cool. That lady that's
super cool
that you've met, and
yeah,
what a neat thing.
Yeah.
Be able to share with her.
Did you see that Jody pled guilty today?
I did see that. Yes, is that a relief for you?
Okay, I'm going to go switch from that one
it's
down
a big
to
relief.
One. Hang on.
It's a big.
Okay, let's listen to a different one. It's just unbelievable that they act like they didn't do anything wrong. Ruby to Kevin, are we in the news? Yeah, you're in the news, dumbass. You certainly are. Ruby talking crap about her dog. Whoa, here we go. Listen to this. And this is going to be full credit to who we going to talk.
Ruby makes another jailhouse phone call to her estranged husband, Kevin. During this conversation, Ruby cries and says she's misunderstood. They talk a little smack about their daughter, Sherry. Ruby gives Kevin the house, and Ruby claims God told her that her children would be removed.
Torturous last night.
Okay, that's kind of, we've already heard that one. Let me see.
It was horrible. It was torturous last night hearing this.
YouTuber headlines.
The banging and people. It's like,
we're going to go past that because we've already heard that one.
20 years? I'm like, no, that's not true. Anyway, if you need to let
Sherry, that was either Sherry or one of your siblings.
Well, they're all in cahoots. One means all of them.
All
yes,
in cahoots. Right.
In your hearing, I don't know if you've considered this. I don't know if it'd be helpful, but you could have the house.
Mm-hmm. We already heard that one.
And if all the kids go to the house, you've got room there. And
only way that we're going to retain custody of the children.
Figured such. God told me when I was driving.
God told me.
I didn't have any information.
She was the only one
your children are going to be removed. And I just cried out loud. I'm like, no, I'm not
right.
done.
When the boy and Jody, yeah, she was.
And God told me I'm done. And I just.
You are done. You're absolutely done.
I'm a really good girl.
No, you're not a really good girl. Shut that shit up. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Get off of that one. Let's see. Let me see if there's a different one. It's so funny when the judge rips her a new one. I'm telling you. We'll listen to this for just a second, but it is fun. It's fun to listen to because I enjoy hearing him tell her what a piece of shit she is.
Court recalls the matter of State of Utah versus Hildebrand, case 231501763. Counsel are present. Ms. Hildebrand is present. Counsel, there is a pre-sentence investigation report. I have read it. Everyone has seen and reviewed that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are
Again,
a monster.
The sentence was stipulated at the time of the plea agreement. What record do we need to make other than going forward with sentencing?
Your Honor, it would be repetitive. I had the same statement, just with the last few paragraphs where I was differentiating between Ms. Frankie and Ms. Hildebrand.
Okay, let's talk about housekeeping matters first. What about restitution?
We stipulated to keep that open for 8 months.
It is appropriate, Your Honor, since we don't have any evidence with respect to restitution, and that's because it is still in the process of being gathered by the county attorney's office. It's completely appropriate for the court to make no orders with respect to restitution, other than to reserve all issues regarding restitution, and we have no issue with the eight-month time frame.
And the injunction that was previously issued by the court will remain in effect,
at
least until that time.
It will remain in effect until further order of this court.
All right. Mr. Clark.
Thanks, Your Honor. The state of Utah respectfully requests that the court sentence Ms. Hildebrand to consecutive prison terms for each of the 4 counts of aggravated child abuse to which she has pleaded guilty.
Not concurrent.
The sentence was agreed to her in her plea agreement and is also recommended by adult probation and parole. Ms. Hildebrand committed awful acts of child abuse. From May to August 2023, she and her business partner held 2 children, ages 9 and 11, turning 12, in a concentration camp-like setting in her house in Ivan City. The children were regularly denied food, water, beds to sleep in, and virtually all forms of entertainment. They were isolated from others and were hidden when people came to visit the house. They were forced to do physical tasks like carrying loaded boxes up and down stairs and doing wall sits or sitting against a wall without assistance of a chair or stool for hours at a time. They were forced to do manual labor outdoors in the extreme summer heat, often without shoes or socks. And they were also forced to stand outside on a cement patio in the summer heat for hours and even days. They were beaten.
Days?
And the 12-year-old was regularly bound hand and foot after he attempted to run away in mid-July. Both children had extensive physical injuries from the abuse that required hospitalization to treat. The injuries from the binding are particularly bad. In addition to the physical abuse, the children were emotionally abused. They each believed to some degree that they deserved what was being done to them. Had the older of the 2 children not had the courage to run away and ask a neighbor to call the police, heaven only knows how much longer he could have survived. After being caught, Ms. Hildebrand has shown little to no remorse for her actions. In telephone conversations that will be provided in full to the Board of Pardons and Parole, and which she knew to be recorded, she's repeatedly claimed that she is the victim and the children are the perpetrators. She's gone so far as to say that the things said in this proceeding and covered by the media today will be full of lies. The combination of 3 factors make Ms. Hildebrand a significant threat to the community. First, the severity of the abuse she caused to be inflicted on young children. Second, her attitude that everything she did was justified and that she is being wrongfully imprisoned. And third, her training as a therapist and aptitude for using online resources to convince others to follow her guidance. Utah Code Section 76-3401 lays out 3 factors the court should consider in determining whether to impose concurrent or consecutive sentences. The first is the gravity and circumstances of the offense. The second is the number of victims. And the third is the history, character, and rehabilitative need of the defendant. As agreed to in the plea agreement and as recommended by adult probation and parole, consecutive sentences are appropriate here. This is due to the severity of the abuse to the 2 victims and the extreme need for Ms. Hildebrand to be rehabilitated so that she no longer will present a risk to the community. The state respectfully requests that she be sentenced to 4 consecutive terms.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Mr. Terry.
Thank you, Your Honor. I will be brief. As is always the case in cases that come before courts, there are 2 sides to every case. And as and even in a case like this, that remains the case. There are many allegations regarding these 2 individuals, Ms. Frankie and my client, Ms. Hildebrand. The only facts in this case that are adjudicated facts are those set forth in the plea agreement that she entered into freely and knowingly and voluntarily. Those facts, those adjudicated facts, are significant. They certainly provide a basis for the pleas and provide a basis for the stipulated sentence in this case. My experience with Ms. Hildebrand is that she is not the person that she has been portrayed to be.
Oh, really?
But having said that,
she is.
She has accepted responsibility in this case. She has entered into this plea agreement with a stipulated sentence of 4 consecutive sentences. She did that at the time she entered into the plea agreement, knowing that that would be the court's order. She's before the court today, knowing that that would be the court's order, and she fully accepts that. She accepts responsibility and she accepts the consequences for her conduct. And we will submit it to the court on the stipulated agreement.
Mr. Terry, you suggested that there are 2 sides to every case. I generally agree with you. Ms. Hildebrand didn't make a statement to AP&P in the course of the pre-sentence investigation report.
Correct.
Why did she not make a statement?
She wanted to reserve her right to make a statement before the court today, and she has a brief statement that she wants to read.
Oh, well, let's hear it. I can't wait to hear her statement. Blame it all on somebody else.
Go ahead.
I sincerely love these children.
Sure you did.
I desire for them to heal physically and emotionally. One of the reasons I did not go to trial is that I did not want them to emotionally relive the experience which would have been detrimental to them. My hope and prayer is that they will heal and move forward to have beautiful lives. I am willing to submit to what the state feels would be an appropriate amount of time served to make retribution as an outcome.
And in answer to your question, Your Honor, I knew that whatever she might say to the author of the pre-sentence report would probably sound hollow and self-serving, and perhaps it does today. But I know that my client, in the statement that she makes to the court today, that statement is absolutely sincere.
Really? Does Hildebrand recognize that it's her behavior that caused the harm to the children that she's referred to in her statement?
Your Honor, she recognizes that she was, along with Miss Frankie, that she made decisions with respect to the discipline of those children that were wrong, that caused harm to those children. She fully recognizes that and accepts responsibility for that.
I did not hear her say that.
Right.
I want to hear her say that.
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Hildebrand, this circumstance is tragic. It's largely, of course, of your making. By any measure, your conduct in this case was disastrous for these children. Adults are supposed to protect children. Adults with specialized training in particular are supposed to protect children. You didn't do that in this case. In this case, you terrorized children, and the results have been tragic. It's what happened to these children, and your philosophy in dealing with them, frankly, seems detached from reality or any objective standard of decency or even common sense. And the court finds that it is appropriate that you serve a prison sentence. The court finds under the statute, Utah Code 76-3-401, that given the gravity and circumstances of the offenses, the number of victims, and the history and character and needs of the defendant, that consecutive sentences are appropriate. The court imposes 4 1 to 15-year sentences to be, again, served consecutively for each of the 4 counts of aggravated child abuse. The last thing I do need to tell you is that you only have 30 days to file or perfect an appeal of any error of the court by filing a written notice of appeal with the clerk of the court. If you don't do that, you will lose your right to appeal. That has to be filed in writing, and again, within 30 days. You also have the right to the assistance of an attorney and to have an attorney appointed if you cannot afford to hire your own. Thank you. We're in recess.
Let's see if we can watch hers. Hopefully. Let's see.
I want the court to know that through introspection and reflection,
Never gonna watch Ruby Frankie
student of her own actions.
You are so precious to me. I'm sorry.
I'm going to cry about it.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to District Court. We're here for sentencing in the matter of State of Utah versus Ruby Frankie. Ms. Frankie is here with Mr. Windward. Mr. Clark and Mr. Sham are here for the State of Utah, and we are ready to proceed with sentencing.
Yes, John.
Counsel, the terms of the sentence were agreed to as part of the plea agreement, correct?
That is correct.
There is a pre-sentence investigation report in the matter. I have reviewed that. Everyone has seen it.
Yes.
What about restitution, counsel, before we move on with other matters?
We'd like to leave that open at this time, Your Honor.
Worse.
I can get into that. I might be more comfortable if we approach to get into that.
Is there an agreement that restitution, that we reserve that, and for what period of time?
8 months is what we're anticipating.
8
But
months?
I haven't talked to the defendant's counsel about that.
We haven't discussed that, Your Honor.
Is there any objection?
No.
All right. What's the state's position regarding sentencing?
Your Honor, I'll stand up. The state respectfully requests that the court sentence Ms. Franke to consecutive prison terms for each of the 4 counts of aggravated child abuse. This sentence was agreed to by Ms. Franke in her plea agreement and is also recommended by adult probation and parole. She committed horrible acts of child abuse. From May to August in 2023, Ms. Franke and her business partner held her 2 children, ages 9 and 11, turning 12, in a concentration camp-like setting. The children were regularly denied food, water, beds to sleep in, and virtually all forms of entertainment. They were isolated from others and were hidden when people came to visit the house where the children and the defendants were
Well, they
staying.
did the same thing.
The children were forced to do physical tasks like carrying loaded boxes up and down stairs and wall sits or sitting against a wall without a chair or stool for hours at a time. They were also forced to do manual labor outdoors in the extreme summer heat, at times without shoes or socks. They were forced to stand outside on a cement patio in the summer heat for hours and even days at a time. They were beaten, and the 12-year-old was regularly bound hand and foot after he attempted to run away in mid-July. Both children had extensive physical injuries from the abuse that required hospitalization when they were found. The injuries from the binding to the 12-year-old are particularly awful. In addition to physical abuse, the children were emotionally abused to the extent that each believed, to some degree, that they deserved what was being done to them. Had the older of the children not had the courage to run away and ask a neighbor to call the police, heaven only knows how much longer he could have survived in that situation. After being caught, Ms. Franke has shown considerable remorse, as evidenced by agreeing to serve consecutive prison terms and being willing to cooperate with the state against Ms. Hildebrand.
Bingo. There you
given the
go.
severity of the abuse she inflicted, consecutive terms are appropriate in this case. As the court's aware, Section 76-3401 laid out factors the court takes into account in determining whether consecutive or concurrent sentences should be imposed. Those factors are the gravity and circumstances of the offense, the number of victims, and the history, character, and rehabilitative needs of the defendant. As agreed to in the plea agreement and is recommended by adult probation and parole, consecutive sentences are appropriate. This is due to the severity of the abuse to both victims. It could be argued that Ms. Franke should receive a lesser sentence than Ms. Hildebrand because of her remorse and willingness to cooperate with the state. However, the Board of Pardons and Parole will have broad latitude and will be able to take those facts into account when it determines how long each of the co-defendants will remain incarcerated. In conclusion, we respectfully request that the court go along with what was agreed to in the plea agreement and is recommended by adult probation and parole and impose consecutive sentences.
Thank you. Anything else from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Windward?
Thank you, Your Honor.
I wonder what her statement's going to be.
In my few comments this morning, and the comments my client wishes to make in a few minutes, we are not suggesting, nor are we asking that the court deviate from the stipulated sentence contained in the written plea agreement. I want the court to know that through introspection and reflection, Ruby Franke has become a serious student of her own actions. In the very early days of my involvement with Ruby, she was somewhat defensive, and she was still very much indoctrinated into a philosophy that was destructive. Fortunately, Ruby came to the stark realization of the errors in her thinking patterns and subsequent actions. To say that she was horrified by this realization would be to put it mildly. I have marveled at how quickly Ruby abandoned her defensive stance and moved toward her total acceptance of her actions and to her sentence today. So far, she has used her time in jail to...
She had to do that. She had to conform like that if she ever thought she's going to get out of jail. And she had to turn against Jody in order to make it look like she didn't know what she was doing. I mean, this is so intentional, narcissist, it's just a psychopathic bullshit right here. 100%.
Unwrap the layers upon layers of deceit and deception foisted upon her over the last 4 years by an unscrupulous individual. Ruby realizes that she still has work to do in shedding those thinking errors and to reestablish a better and correct pattern of thinking and behavior. Ruby realizes that changing her thinking, reestablishing relationships, and healing are not simple or easy tasks.
I want to know, where was the other...
However, she is committed to doing that work. I would like the court to know that Ruby Franke is a delightful, respectful, and responsible person. She is open to feedback and addressing the consequences of her actions head on, and now ready to address your honor and accept your judgment. Thank you, Judge Walton.
Thank you. Ms. Franke has a statement she'd like to make.
She does.
Let's listen to it. I'm so sorry.
Judge Walt.
You don't have to bend down.
Okay, thank you. I would like to make a statement without any intent to change my stipulated sentence.
Yeah, right.
For the past 4 years, I've chosen to follow counsel and guidance that has led me into a dark delusion. My distorted version of reality went largely unchecked as I would isolate from anyone who challenged me. I was led to believe that this world was an evil place, filled with cops who control, hospitals that injure, government agencies that brainwash, church leaders who lie and lust, husbands who refuse to protect, and children who need
Oh, did you hear that?
abuse.
Listen. Who lie in lust. Are you kidding me?
My choice to believe and behave this paranoia culminated into criminal activity for which I stand before you today ready to take accountability. Jody Hilderbrandt was never my business partner, nor was I ever employed by her. I have never received wages from her or connections. Jody was employed as my son's counselor in 2019, and in 2020 I paid her to be my mentor.
To be my mentor.
It is important to me to demonstrate my remorse and regret without blame. I take full accountability for my choices, and it is my preference that I serve a prison sentence. Thank you to the officers in Santa Clara and the Ivan City Police, Nick Hammer, Brian Polifo, Cy Pikuvit, Mike Pondoyo in Tolbert, John.
I want to serve a prison sentence. Bullshit. That is bullshit. I hope the judge can see right through it.
Ward, D. Lewis, and Chief Flowers. You were the angels who came and saved my children. I especially want to thank Detective J. Bate. She plucked me out of a situation I didn't know how to get out of. And the moment she handcuffed me was the moment I gained my freedom. You were not the controlling ones. I was. Thank you to the medical staff at Intermountain Hospital. Your skill, tenderness, and professionalism helped heal my children. Jody and I inflicted the injuries, not the hospital. Thank you to DCFS, the Children's Justice Center, Judge Basil, and other key adults. You've gathered my children under your wing and offered them love, compassion, encouragement. You were not the ones who were doing the brainwashing. Thank you to my Bishop Tom Hawks and my state president Jim Nelson.
No. Thank you to the bishop. The bishop is exactly the person that would tell these people they needed to go see Jody Hildebrand. Unbelievable. God. Yeah, I can't.
Reminding me of the Lord's love for the lost.
Wow.
So much pain and suffering would have been avoided had I followed and heeded your counsel. I was the one who was deceived, not you. Thank you to the Washington County Prosecutor's Office, Ryan Sham, the legal assistants and discovery clerks. Eric Clark, you exemplified to me how justice and mercy are meant to coexist. My charges are just. They offer safety to my family, accountability to the public, and they did show mercy to me. Thank you to my attorney, Lamar Winward, and his staff. I would not be where I am today without them. Thank you to Randy Kester for your limitless energy in healing my family. My dear friends, Pam and Ray.
She sounds like she's getting an award for the best actress over here. It's unbelievable. It's the first time I've heard this. It's disgusting.
I am so sorry for letting you down. Because of your association with me, your innocence was called into question. My mother-in-law, father-in-law, Kevin's family, my cousins, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, and neighbors, you all saw the warning signs long before I did, and you did what you could. You wanted to help, but I pushed you away.
I hope the judge realizes she is blaming them. You saw the warning signs and you did what you could. What the hell?
My mother and father, I have been utterly wretched to you. You have offered me unconditional love, and for that I have offered you unconditional contempt. My siblings and their spouses, because of my decision to run around in a pigsty, I have dragged your families through the mud in public. Yet, when I desired to return as a prodigal sister, unlike the prodigal's brother in the Bible, you synced up with my parents and ran out to greet me. Your capacity to love is unprecedented. Kevin, my husband of more than 23 years.
He divorced you.
You were the love of my life. I'm so sorry to leave to you to finish what we both started together. The ending of our marriage is a tragedy. It all wrapped around my heart. They're not, I'll never be able to undo. To my babies, my 6 little chicks, you were part of me. I was the mama duck who was consistently watering you to safety. I can see now, over the past 4 years, I was in a deep undercurrent that led us to danger. I went into darkness knowingly. I was so disoriented that I believed dark was light and light was wrong. I would do anything in this world for you.
Notice she starts talking about light and dark. Another Chad and Lori discussion.
My willingness to sacrifice all things masterfully manipulated into something very ugly. I took from her all that was soft and safe and good. I took from her a mother. How terrifying this must have been for you.
It's crazy.
I will stop crying. You're hurting your tender souls. You're so precious to me. I'm sorry. My choice to live in fear of the world has created a great vulnerability and a blind spot for me, where I have broken hearts and I've caused people to suffer and I have betrayed sacred trust. Watching my community respond to my charges with justice and mercy and grace and love is all the more evidence to me how wrong I've been. This world is full of really good people. And finally, I'm sorry for twisting God's word and distorting his doctrines.
Really? She's sorry.
My greatest desire is to stand in his court someday spotless and confident. And Judge Walton, I know that standing before you today is a necessary step towards that end. Thank you to you and your staff for facilitating my opportunity to take accountability and to answer for my charges. I am humbled and willing to serve a prison sentence as long as it takes to continue unraveling all of the disinformation I have believed and bought, swallowed, and acted out, and for my family to heal and for the community to heal. And I understand this is going to take time. I'm committed to continuing my learning until all of my toxic layers are shed, and I am ready to re-enter as a contributing member of our beautiful society. Thank you, Judge Walton.
Thank you for your statement. Ms. Franke, anything else, Mr. Windward?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else prior to the court imposing sentence?
No, Your Honor.
The sentence will be that Ms. Franke serve 4 counts, 4 1 to 15 year sentences based on her convictions for 4 counts of aggravated child abuse. Again, they will be served consecutively pursuant to the parties' agreement and the applicable statute. Under the applicable statute, the court finds that consecutive sentences are appropriate. Ms. Franke, the last thing I do need to tell you is that you have only 30 days to file or to perfect an appeal of any errors of the court by filing a written notice of appeal with the clerk of the court. If you don't do that within 30 days, you will lose your right to appeal. You also have the right to the assistance of an attorney on appeal and to have one appointed if you cannot afford to hire your own. Restitution, as agreed by the parties, will remain open for a period of 8 months. Any of the parties can bring that matter back before the court within that period of time. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. The next matter before the court is State of Utah versus Hildebrand, case 231501.
One right after the other. How about that? Yeah. So there you go. Oh, come on. All right. So I'm going to quit sharing this over here, but isn't that just wild? I'm telling you, just wild. Go in there and give that big old long speech like she's getting some kind of a damn award. And you know what that's about, though. That's because when they go in December, when she goes before the parole board, and they're going to look back and you see, oh, see, I was so sorry. I was so sorry. Oh, my gosh. I was being brainwashed. I was being misled. What the damn Sam hell was that about? Girl, I'm telling you, that was freaking crazy. I'm going to get off here for tonight, but you know what I'm going to see if I can find the appeals. I know that Jody Hildebrand filed an appeal, but I'm not sure if Ruby Franke filed an appeal or not. But I'm going to go search it out and see if I can find appeals for these two, or if or whatever I can find to see if it's out there, see if we can get a copy of it, because the whole thing is just downright they're just manipulative psychopaths. That's what you got right here, psychopaths. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. I always appreciate it. If you get a chance, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up on your way in or out, or the thumbs down, however you feel. It's fine. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. You all have a wonderful evening. Take care of yourself out there. Be safe. And go hug your babies. I got to call it a night. Thank you so much, Cinderella. I hope you enjoyed watching and seeing this trauma and tragedy unfold. See you tomorrow, or see you later in somebody else's chat. Night, night.